Okay, Alfonso, let's take a look at this new set of essays you've written. We've got the map. Let's see what you did here. The map shows the same island in two different stages of development, the first one before construction and the second one after. The island measures around 200 meters across and 90 from top to the bottom, without the here. It remains the same after going under construction. Careful, not contraction, construction. Both islands have the beach on its left side, as can be shown. In the first image, there are up to 8 trees, whereas in the second one below, there are just 3 after the construction has started. Okay. On the developed island, 15 new houses or cabins and 3 large complexes have been located near the new pier installed at the lower part of the island. The new lake has been settled. I don't really care for that expression. You want to say that it's a man-made lake or it's a created lake. So you could have said it like that. You could have said the newly created lake has been situated on the right part of the island. All the houses are connected by a footpath between them, while there is also a vehicle track that links the complexes with the pier and the houses. The beach is linked by a footpath with the houses on the left side of the island. Boats are also present on the developed island. Where are all those buildings in the middle? I don't see the restaurant, I don't see the hotel, I don't see the mall. And that's some pretty vital information. You left that out. Apart from that, you also left out an overview. Now, just because it's a map, it doesn't mean that it doesn't require an overview. It most certainly does. You had a statement that looked like it might have been an overview, but it was kind of trapped there in the middle of all these other sentences, and so it wasn't really clear as an overview. So yeah, essentially just that the island remained, no, there really wasn't a no. There really wasn't an overview. So what could an overview here have been? An overview could have been something like prior to construction, there was absolutely no infrastructure, but after construction, the island became a location with amenities and accommodation for tourists. Okay, so something like that would have been appropriate here. You absolutely needed it, but not only did you absolutely need that, you absolutely needed to mention these as well. I also would have liked you to mention the circular, a really developed answer would have also mentioned that these are in a circular pattern. And maybe a little bit more information about how they're located, where they're located. But like I said, you missed some of that really important stuff, mainly the overview and these buildings here in the center. So if that for me is a bigger problem than anything else we could talk about. That's definitely going to bring your score down for this, okay? You have to remember that all task ones, regardless of what type of image they are, require an overview. So don't forget it. And if you have any questions about what kinds of overviews might be appropriate for different kinds of tasks, then please feel free to ask. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, you know what else? There's no real linking going on here as well now that I look at it again. Like, okay, here you have all the houses are connected by a footpath between them. There is also a vehicle track. The beach is linked by a footpath with the houses. So there's absolutely no linking. There's no fluency between your sentences. And that's also going to be marked in your coherence and cohesion score. It almost felt like a list. Okay, like this could have been a bulleted list of sentences. So try to make it sound more like a paragraph, more like an actual paragraph rather than, like I said, a list. Okay? All right, anyway, let's go on to your task 2. This is the one about green energy. So let's see what you said here. Experts of both developed and experts from both the developed and developing world have debated whether green energy reduces costs and benefits the environment, or if it puts on risk. We don't really say that. If it creates a risk for energy security. That would have been okay. Personally, I agree with the idea of introducing green energy in the current system. This essay will argue the benefits of the sustainable energies for the economy and environment using examples from UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence of how green or sustainable energies are still being developed and the risks of introducing these kind of energy. No. And what the risk of introducing these kinds of energies can mean. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, green energy is a new source of energy that is still under development, and this usually means it might not be affordable for everybody. All right, so what does that have to do with it being a problem for energy security? That doesn't really make sense to me, so I don't know where you're going with this. Secondly, sustainable energies are needed. I don't know how to fix this. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I can't fix it. Let me think. Secondly, sustainable energies are needed of an... No. I can't fix it. Secondly, sustainable energies are needed to be... I can't fix it. No, I can't. I'm trying. Like, this is like the fourth time I'm trying. I can't fix it. Anyway, of an interrupted source of energy such as wind or solar energy. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Grammatically, I can't even try to fix it. For example, recently empirical research, it's always singular, by the UK government demonstrated that expenditures of green energy can be up to 300% higher than traditional energies in the short term, not only because of the first investment in its technology, but also due to the location of the pieces of lands that meet the requirements in order to assure an unstoppable source of energy. All right, I really am afraid I don't understand this whole line of thought here. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that in the short term prohibitive and not assures... All right, again, this is grammatically wrong. It is conclusively clear that in the short term, something has to be prohibitive. Okay, so you're missing words here. So green energy is prohibitive and does not assure its functionality. So something like that's missing here. But apart from that, I just had a real problem with this. Let me see. Okay, I just looked through your paragraph again. I do feel like there is some misunderstanding of the topic, and that is reflected in your answer here. But there were a lot of grammatical mistakes, and as I said, it appears to me upon further reading that there is a misunderstanding as well of what you're supposed to be writing here. You're supposed to be writing about how green energy is a risk to energy security. If you're not sure what is meant by energy security, look it up so you can see what is meant by this, what examples of that are, and how green energy figures into that. Okay, so let's take a look at your next paragraph. On the other hand, the benefits for the long-term economy as well as those for the sustainability of the earth cannot be overstated. You didn't need a comma there. This is largely because, you're missing a word, people will benefit from the forces of nature, get rid of the, to collect free energy in order to provide themselves. Just write the word out, please. For example, wind, sun, and electricity generated with nature. By the way, fossil fuels are also naturally created. They're not artificial. They're not man-made, and they are like fossil fuels. So saying that these are natural and the other ones are not is actually inaccurate. That's why we call them renewable sources of energy versus fossil fuels. Okay, or non-renewable. At the same time, people will be contributing to take care of the environment by not using the most contaminating source of energy, such as petrol or carbon. For example, coal, I think is what you mean here. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that people who used green energy systems in the city of Oxford not only increased their annual savings by more than 30%, but also helped to reduce the pollution located in the city by 9%. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that its benefits overtake the drawbacks. Okay, that last part of the paragraph was fine. It made sense. I could follow your thought. The beginning, I'm not so... so-so, but I felt like it took a while for you to get to your point. Like I wasn't really crazy about this second sentence here in terms of how it fit with your paragraph and the overall structure and progression of your ideas. All right, so to finish, let's see. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that in the long term, green energy is much more beneficial for both the earth and the economy of the people. It is predicted that as soon as these sources of energy become more affordable, its use, or rather their use, because it's these sources, so their use will increasingly grow in importance. All right, that's fine. So I think I've covered pretty much what the issues were with both of these essays. The structure of your paragraphs was fine, but there were some errors throughout the answer that made it problematic in, like I said, in a number of different areas. All right, so go ahead and correct these, return them back corrected, add to your error correction list, send us new essays. Do you have new essays with us? I just see here that it says this is essay 9 and 10. If this is the last essay in your pack, which I assume it is since it's number 9 and 10, I'd like to see you writing more, Alfonso. I don't remember if you ever told us when your test is, but I would like you to sign up for more essay corrections. I think that further feedback can help you. So please do look into that, all right? And I look forward to seeing more of your essays. Good luck.